Hi, good morning. Welcome to my Wednesday devotional. As you can see, we are in Esther, chapter 3. We're actually in verse 13, but I like leaving up the previous week's verses in case you missed it, and it helps it kind of bring it together. So I hope you guys are doing well today. So, all right, let's get started. So last week we covered verses 11 and 12, and I'll read that to you, and then I'll read the next one. Okay, so last week, verse 11, the king said, "The money and the people are both yours to do with as you see fit." Verse 12, so on April 17th, the king's secretaries were summoned, and a decree was written exactly as Haman had dictated. It was sent to the king's highest officers, the governors of the respective provinces, and the nobles of each province in their own scripts and language. The decree was written in the name of King Xerxes and sealed with the king's signet. Remember what I had been using last week and the other week prior is, I'm just pretending, even though this is American flag, just pretend this is the king's signet ring, and that's how he stamps the document to be sealed. So when it's opened, it's done. That's the decree that they're talking about. All right, so going on along those themes, why I left up the previous verses, we go to verse 13. Dispatchers were sent by swift messengers into all the provinces of the empire, giving the order that all the Jews, young and old, including women and children, must be killed, slaughtered, and annihilated on a single day. This was scheduled to happen on March 7th of the next year. The property of the Jews would be given to those who killed them. Okay, first of all, there's a whole lot here. First, we know that because they were getting decrees from the king, via the signet ring, right? They were sent by swift messengers, so what was the hurry, kind of have to wonder about that. But the reason why they were swift messengers is because they're the king's messengers, so it wasn't like anybody else, right? So swift, that was just interesting that they had to leave that in the Bible there, like, were there slow messengers? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, interesting. Swift messengers, this was like an urgent message. Why was it so urgent? Okay. So giving the orders about the Jews, so all the Jews, young and old, just like 100% all across the board, women and children. So why women and children? As we know, women reproduce. So I guess Haman didn't want there to be more children to be born and go in the next generation coming back to get Haman, right? So he just did 100% slaughter all across the board. Okay, and the weird thing here is on a single day. Well, what's the hurry? Kind of like these swift messengers, like, what? We got to get this message out now, the Jews that Haman had, wickedly and falsely said to the king, that, these Jews, they're separate from everyone else. They don't like you. They're not, obedient, creating all this fear. So swift messengers, get them all on a single day, only on March 7th, which fortunately was next year. That was actually a good thing for Esther, gave her a chance to move, right? So that was it was a dumb move on his part. Strategically, if Haman was smart, he would have done it like the next day and actually probably just not tell anybody, just boom, boom, boom. That would have been the wise move. But luckily, he wasn't too smart, was he? And it gave an opening for Esther to be able to come in and save the day. So thank goodness. I know that's kind of going into the story, but that's the good news. Okay, so, and then of course, the property of the Jews would be given to those who get, like that's their payment, or something. Oh my goodness. Haman, not a good strategic guy, but that's why he's the bad guy, right? All right, but in all seriousness, just a lot of things come to mind right now, actually, as I was thinking about this video. As you know, we had our September 11th remembrances, and, that's hard for me as well as probably all Americans, and anyone watching it, it's just beyond words. That's all I'm going to say. It is upsetting. I know I usually cry about when I see those things. I get very upset about they talk about the remembrances. I was watching something and it literally brought me to tears. So September 11th is a very, very difficult anniversary. And I thought, and it's funny, or not funny, but interesting that this verse pops up, on that week. This is what Haman's intent was to do, much like our terrorists, unfortunately, that did kill almost 2,000 people. Luckily, this plan did not come to fruition. I know that's telling you the end of the story, but still, it's just interesting for this. This week is tough for me, and I'm sure it is for you as well. So, as we are having that in mind and we're being prayerful, I don't know if this brings any comfort or not to know that there's been plans historically. So, unfortunately, even though September 11th did happen, is there something that we can learn? Is there something, what is God trying to tell us? And that's an individual question for all of us that probably has an individual answer. So, because, and ironically, I've got the American flag right here as my signet ring for the video. So, I don't know. We'll see what God's trying to tell us. But anyway, I hope this brought, some kind of comfort or some interest as we're, working our way through Esther, and some plug. I try to do that. That's why I break it down, line by line, because you never know. Week to week, you might have a different answer to this. So anyway, I hope you guys have a really great week, and I hope to see you next week for the next verse. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate you.